for fire. We have a rollover with someone trapped.
The mangled remains of Tiger Woods' SUV after careering across the road and tumbling down a hillside near Los Angeles. The golfing icon had been driving along this stretch of road in LA, a steep downhill, yesterday morning around 7 a.m. Police said he was driving over the speed limit of 45 miles an hour when he lost control of the car, crashed through the lane dividers and tumbled down the grass verge on the other side, striking a tree as his car eventually came to rest in a crumpled heap on its side at the bottom of the slope. You can imagine the shock of the first rescuer on the scene.
I asked him what his name was. He told me his name was Tiger, and at that moment I immediately recognized him. I asked him if he knew where he was, what time of day, just to make sure he was oriented. He seemed as though he was lucid and calm.
The road is a notorious accident hotspot, and the police say Woods, who needed to be cut out of the car, is lucky to be alive.
The nature of his vehicle, the fact that he was wearing a seatbelt, I would say that it greatly increased the likelihood that it saved his life.
The 45-year-old was rushed to hospital and underwent hours of surgery for multiple severe compound fractures to his right leg and ankle. Rods, pins and screws were needed to help put the bones back together. Now the waiting game begins, and the inevitable question.
But you do have to wonder if this could be the end of his athletic career potentially.
Yeah, I think that that's a very legitimate question to ask.
Because Woods had only just recovered from major back surgery, his fifth, which he'd hoped would allow him to stage a comeback at the US Masters tournament in April.
Listen.
Just as he had in 2019, in a jaw-dropping finale after nearly a decade off the circuit, following the breakup of his marriage after his multiple infidelities.
All right, go ahead and spread your feet for me.
And who can forget this image of Woods being arrested for drink driving in 2017 and the subsequent revelation of his addiction to opioids. But ever the fighter, the Tiger returned, sprinkling that blend of golfing magic dust that critics say only he can muster.
You could make a very good case that at his very peak, Tiger Woods was the greatest golfer ever. That he was one of those athletes who someone who doesn't know a bogey from a birdie still knew him. That's why right now, this is the story in America.
Everybody be on the lookout. I got some lessons today from what I think is the GOAT.
While this basketball star, who was playing with Woods in a tournament this week, described him as GOAT, the greatest of all time.
I say the GOAT. He's not comfortable with it, but that opportunity to come out here with this guy right here, man. Tiger, thank you for teaching me something.
At that tournament, Woods was asked if he planned to compete in the upcoming Masters, to which he replied, "God, I hope so. I've got to get there first." Now, the chances of him doing so are zero, and he may be forced to hang up the clubs for good.